Welcome to ResMan Windows Mobile Applications. This presentation demonstrates the standard asset tracking and condition appraisal module. You can perform tracking or appraisal, or both activities in a single operation. Tracking and appraisal is recommended, as this also ensures you comply with the requirements of the Companies Act. You can utilize manual input of assets, or scan a barcode or RFID label. By filtering assets for a precise location, enables a comparison to be made between the actual location tracked and the expected location in the asset register. Condition appraisal on its own can be performed on all assets without filtering. In this example we have filtered by site, building and location. However, we can also filter by category, type, owner, department or directorate. Pressing Start Scan displays the scanned form, ready for data entry. As previously mentioned, assets to be tracked or condition appraised can be scanned or entered manually, using an asset ID or serial number, or selected from a list of assets. This form displays audit boxes showing the number of expected assets for the filter criteria, and running totals during the scanning process. System messages are displayed, together with an optional, mild audible beep, to inform the user of any anomalies, and confirmation of the scanning process. When the tracking and appraisal form is displayed, the focus is automatically in the Appraisal tab. The Asset Tracking tab option does not need to be viewed, as the appraisal process automatically performs a tracking function. However, if a user wishes to view this screen, the Asset Tracking tab displays this information. This shows where the asset was expected to be found, and its actual location. This audit detail is automatically recorded in the asset register. The Appraisal tab is where the scanning process takes place. The remaining messages are confirmation of a successful track and appraisal, and a prompt if an asset is scanned again within the same batch. If a user wants to select assets manually from a list, the View hyperlink on the scanned form displays an appropriate list as in the example of expected assets. If an asset, or all assets, do not have a barcode or RFID label, they can be selected by using double-click, or the View option to open the condition appraisal form, to be tracked and appraised manually. This simple process is identical for both scanning and manual selection. The user can then tick the asset status box to highlight any anomaly, select a user-definable condition, and enter any free format text in the Notes option. The Save option is used, and following confirmation, the form returns to the asset list to make a selection or continue scanning. The tracking and appraisal process continues, and activity is accumulated and recorded in the total boxes. Each total box has a View option, which displays the appropriate list, whenever required. You can view at any time during the tracking and appraisal process, expected assets, total assets tracked in an unexpected location, and finally, assets tracked in their expected location. Once the scanning session is completed, the user utilizes the Synchronize option, which automatically creates a batch of all appraisal and tracking transactions, which are date and time stamped for that user. This batch is then automatically transferred into the maintenance management system. Here you can choose to update the asset register with the new locations, and full audit details and reports are available. This concludes the asset tracking and condition appraisal presentation. If you require any further information, please contact ResMan support.